So we're in the final stage of the PCB design course, and in this lesson we're going to generate all the manufacturing files required to order the PCB. So first we go to plot, we press plot, and we have a new tab, and here we will generate the Gerber files. The Gerber files are basically essential files to manufacture the PCB. So for each layer we have a separate Gerber file. So on the left side we can select the layers we want to generate the Gerber file. So we have a front copper, bottom copper, paste layer, seal screen, mask, and edge cuts. So we can keep all these default layers, everything looks good. But one thing, it's I think good idea to create a new folder just to keep all the manufacturing files in one place. Okay, so I will create a new folder, manufacturing, select yes, and also noticed this warning which is related to the solder mask expansion. So for that we can go back to the board setup, and if you remember we defined this parameter, we can set it back to 0 just to have this warning to disappear. So it disappeared, as you see. And also we can tick this box so we have the same coordinates with the drill place. Okay, then we can press plot, and then we have all the Gerber files within this folder. We can also verify that. Another thing is that we need to generate drill files as well, because we have, as you remember, vias, and during the manufacturing the manufacturer of course has to know the position of each hole to insert vias. So that's why we also need to generate the drill files. So we can keep all these default settings. We press generate. That's it. Next thing, we also need to generate the component placement file, which has to be export fabrication output component placement. So the manufacturer will get the position of each component, so during the assembly it can easily do this operation. So we have CSV, millimeters, everything looks good. So we press generate position file, and we have to keep the same folder so everything is in one place. Okay, I think everything looks good. We close. And next thing, we have to generate the bill of materials. So for that we need to switch back to the schematic. So we have the schematic and we have to generate the BOM, bill of materials. BOM is basically the list of components we use, so the manufacturer can order the components for us and assemble the PCB. Okay, so for that we press generate bill of materials just over here. Alright, before we continue, all the project files are available on my website for a small fee. The link in the description. So we have the new tab. We need to press on edit. And each company has its own format for BOM. So you need to check the manufacturing website to format your BOM. And we are going to use the PCB way. We're going to order the PCB from PCB way. And I have this Excel sheet from that company, which is basically the template for the BOM. And we are going to use the same format, let's say. So if we look at our BOM, first of all, as you see, we have this footprint, exclude from, so this kind of unnecessary columns, so we can remove that first. So we have to just untick them. DMP, what is that DMP? I think we can remove that as well. Manufacturer we can keep. Item number is important, but we need to set it as the first column. Quantity, of course we have to keep the quantity. Description, I think description is useful, but I think it is good idea to shorten some of them, like this is pretty long. Data sheet, we don't need of course the data sheet. Footprint, we can remove it. Value, what is value? I don't know, do we need that? I think it's not so important, because if we provide the exact part number, I guess it's not necessary, but we can keep, it's not a big deal. Reference, what is reference? Yeah, reference we have to keep. Okay, so we have all the necessary columns, but there's a one small mistake I made. Like we have a part number with capital N, and we also have part number with the small letter. So what it means is that in some components I use the small letter. That's why we have two columns by the same meaning, let's say. So what we have to do, we have to go to these components and we have to fix that. So we have LED driver and USB connector. So for a while we can close it, so we can save. Okay, we can save and close, so we can go back later. So here we press, we edit with the symbol editor, and we open the library. And if we check the symbol properties, as you see, we have a part number with the small. So I change it to the capital N. We press, we save. Then we have the, I think the LED driver. Yes. So we have to set the capital N. We press OK, we save. Then we go back to our schematic. Once we change some libraries, we have to update symbols from library. Okay, so whenever you change the library, you have to do this operation. We update, we close, we save. Then if we go back to the generate bill of materials, edit, we don't need this part number anymore. So we have just a one column for the part number. We have the manufacturer, everything looks good, and something is missing. Of course, for the passive components, we don't have any part number, we don't have the manufacturer, so we have to define it just over here. And then we have the manufacturer, we have the BOM ready. So let's do that. So the final thing is to define all the settings for the passive components, and I already have chosen the exact models I'm going to use. And again, don't ask me why I'm choosing exactly these models. It's up to you. Actually, you can use the other type of resistors. But let me give you a general idea how I search for components, like how I chose the exact models. So for example, here I chose the resistor for 5.1K. So when you search for, of course, you have to consider the value. And another important parameter in resistor is the precision. So we have 1%, which is pretty high. Usually you might have 5%, 10%, but I think 1% is pretty high. And the dimensions, we've already decided to use this dimension, 1.6, 0.8. So when you search for a component, you have to also include this information. And also, you have the power. So we have here 0.1 watt. meaning that when we use this resistor, we have to make sure that the power consumption by this resistor doesn't exceed this value. And in our case, we have just a USB connector and we have this resistor connected, so we have a pretty low power consumption, so I think this is gonna work pretty well. So when you search for example, we can open surface mount. We have millions of resistors, and you need to include all this information like on these tabs. And also you can tick this box in stock, normally stocking, so you can make sure that the component is in stock normally, so you don't have any shortage. So I do the same for 2.1K. I have exactly the same values, and it looks pretty cheap, so I'm going to keep that. And for the capacitor, also the same way, you enter the capacitance, so we need 1 microfarad, then we have 0.0603 package, so you need to enter that information. But also we have additional settings, let's say 25 volts. This is the voltage, voltage rating. So you have to make sure that the voltage across the capacitor doesn't exceed this value. So in our case, 5 volts, so 25 is more than enough, okay? Then we have the dielectric type. I usually use X7R and I never get complaints, so you can keep those settings. So when you search for, you have to again enter all this information just over here. And I will insert all these links in the description below, okay? So don't worry about that. So let's enter all this information. Okay, I entered all this information, everything looks good. Then we can press export, but let's check that one more time. I think everything looks good. We can press export. We can save, of course. Finally, press export. And I think we can again keep everything in the same folder. Export. Okay, so we have everything to order the PCB, and the final thing we can order together, the assembly and PCB as well.